I cannot think of one conceivable way that Burnley could possibly, surely win this game. I think they're in for a rough day, and I'm going to say a 3-0 win to Chelsea. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Newcastle at St James Park to get us off to the perfect beginning to our season. Okay, that's enough of that. Hey guys, how's it going? Master Bucks here. Welcome to another Premier League score prediction video, this time for match week 2. Now, because this is the second match week, I'm going to go back and take a look at my predictions for the first match week, and we'll see how we did. As I'm sure some of you know, could have been better. Before we actually get into the results and the predictions that I made, before I actually do get on with it, I'll actually let you guys know this. I saw a couple of comments saying that I should do a forfeit if I absolutely butcher a certain match week when it comes to the predictions. So here's what I've decided. I'm going to give myself points based on what my predictions are. If I get the result wrong, if I say it's going to be a win for one team and it's a draw, or if I say it's going to be a win for one team and the other team wins, then I get no points. If I don't get the result correct, I do not get anything. If I get the result correct but not the exact score, I get a point. But if I get the exact score correct, I get 3 points. And I'm going to say for the rest of the season, I need to get at least 5 points to avoid a forfeit. If I get anything below 5 points, I have to do a forfeit. And what I want you guys to do is to leave in the comments down below your ideas for forfeits that maybe I might be able to do if I really mess up a match week. I'm thinking I start off with some, relatively tame, normal forfeits if I do get less than 5 points. And as the season goes on, if I keep on failing and keep on getting under 5 points, then I have to do just even worse forfeits every single time. But anyway, let's recap the matches games last week. We have Arsenal versus Leicester, which finished 4-3 in what is already one of the best games and might end up being the best game of the Premier League season. It'll be hard to top. I did predict Arsenal would win this game, so in the end they came through and saved, I would assume, a lot of pundits, because I think a lot of people thought Arsenal were going to win. 4-3 in the end. I predicted it to be a 3-1 win. Didn't get the score correct, but that's 1 point. The next game is Watford versus Liverpool, which finished 3-3, and another game that was quite surprising, with Liverpool really underperforming, Watford going in front twice, Liverpool being able to find a way to come back and make it 3-2, and then right at the end, conceding that equaliser, which, to be fair, it was offside. I know that it was a goalmouth scrap and it's very hard to tell, but it was offside. But still, that won't change the fact that it is 1 point each going each way. And I unfortunately got the result wrong. I would have got it right had it not been for that offside goal being given. But still, 3-3 is the final score. I said it was going to be a 2-0 to Liverpool. And now for Chelsea versus Burnley. Let me just say before I talk about this game, I knew immediately that this was a bad idea to do this series, to put my predictions out there, because now, every single time one upset happens, I'm going to get ridiculed for it by people that probably thought that Chelsea were going to beat Burnley as well. Literally, you don't air your fucking predictions, so that way you can roast everyone that does. You are fucking scumbags. Just the one of yous that do it anyway, but moving on. Yeah, Burnley beat Chelsea 3-2 incredibly. Chelsea looked horrendous. They looked so bad. Even when they were at their absolute worst under Mourinho a few seasons ago, I can't remember them looking that bad in the first half. They were being dominated by Burnley. It was insane. And I can't wait to see if they're going to collapse and crumble like they seem to do on the odd occasion. But 3-2 to Burnley, fucking class. I said that Chelsea were going to win 3-0. That didn't happen. The next game, Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield. I thought that was going to be a 1-1 draw. In the end, Huddersfield put in a strong performance, and Crystal Palace, in their first season under Frank de Boer, not looking too good. Now, the next game, Everton versus Stoke, and your boy has nailed this one. I have had my unfortunate moments in this match week where I did really poorly, but I've got this one bang on. Everton win 1-0. I predicted them to win 1-0. A Wayne Rooney goal. So part of me thought he would be the one that would score. Unfortunately, I didn't mention that, so I'm not going to claim it or anything. It's too late for that, but still, 1-0 win for Everton, and that is 3 points, which takes my tally up to 4. The next game was Southampton versus Swansea. I didn't really see much of this game, as I'm sure most people did, because it ended in a board draw 0-0. And strangely enough, though, I made the prediction that I thought there would be goals in this game. I said it would be a 2-2 draw. I did still say it would be a draw, but that takes me up to 5. So I survive a forfeit this time out, but the next match week, who knows? Next game is West Bromwich Albion versus Bournemouth. I predicted this to be a 1-1 draw. In the end, West Bromwich Albion got themselves a goal, but Bournemouth did not, and it finished 1-0 to West Brom at home. Brighton versus Manchester City. I thought this would be a good game, very attacking with plenty of goals. In the end, it was that. Very attacking, not an awful lot of goals though, just a 2-0 win in Man City, but I did predict them to win 3-2. Then you've got Newcastle versus Tottenham. I was trying to be positive, trying to be ambitious, and trying to hope that we'd get our season off to a good start. Jonjo Shelby had other ideas, and we lost 2-0. I predicted a 2-1 win for Newcastle, so yep, we did not get that one right. And the final game, wow, Manchester United versus West Ham, and they looked solid. Absolutely awesome. A 4-0 win for Manchester United. I did predict them to win. I wanted Chicharito to score. He came close on the odd occasion, but I didn't think Manchester United would put in that big of a dominant performance. And really, to be fair, they piled on the misery at the end, to be fair, scoring 1 or 2 other goals. But really, in the end, 4-0 win. Wow, big result. And that is what, 6 points, I think, in total from the match week. No, I take it back. It's 7. It's 7 points from the match week. I am going to take it. Now moving on to match week 2, starting off with Swansea City versus Manchester United. Again, Manchester United having the biggest statement win of any team so far. Swansea City looking just plain old, same old, not being able to score. Tammy Abraham showed glimpses, by the way, and they were okay against Southampton, nothing amazing, but I think Manchester United, after the performance that they just put on, you expect them to back it up, even if it is away. I'm not going to say they put on a massive 4-0 pumping, but I'm going to say a 3-1 win for Manchester United. Next up is Bournemouth versus Watford. Unfortunately, losing at least for Bournemouth to West Bromwich Albion away. They return home to the Vitality, where they're normally quite decent, I would imagine anyway. They're much better home than I think away, obviously. Watford as well, their away form is a bit maybe off at times, so I kind of imagine this would be a tight game. Am I going to pick a winner in this one? Probably not. I reckon maybe back-to-back draws for Watford, and I think Bournemouth to pick up their first point. Let's go a 1-1 draw. Now for Burnley versus West Brom. Two of the not greatest sides in the world that have managed to find themselves starting off with wins and up toward the top of the table. Is one of these teams going to win and continue that good form? I imagine after Burnley beat Chelsea, that's a that's a massive win for them. They've surely got to be hyped for it. West Bromwich Albion just getting over the line with Bournemouth. You know, just going off of form anyway, Burnley probably looked the better side, but I'm going to go, again, another draw here. I'm going to say another 1-1 draw. Now for Leicester City versus Brighton, and I'm pretty excited for this one because Brighton looked okay against Manchester City, held out for a while, looked positive at times, and then you've got Leicester looking pretty decent against Arsenal. Almost unlucky not for them to win. They sort of just threw it away with about 10 minutes or so to go, but Leicester look good, and I think maybe at home they really should be up for this match as well. Brighton may be starting, I think, with 2 L's here. I'm going to go with a Leicester City win, and we will say it's going to be 2-0. The next game is Liverpool versus Crystal Palace at Anfield. They return after a pretty disappointing result at Watford-Liverpool. I think this will be, I normally go with some pretty safe bets, like I've picked a few draws now. The teams that you would expect to win, I've picked them. This is going to be the one. Goddamn, this is going to be the one pick that I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to look back on and regret at the next one of these, but still, I'm going to go for another upset. And technically, some may not even consider this an upset. If you know, you know. Crystal Palace, when they play Liverpool at Anfield, they just seem to turn amazing, or Liverpool just seem to go to crap. Crystal Palace have won the last 3 games against Liverpool at Anfield, and all have been, I don't know, they concede 1 goal, but they'll come back and take the lead, or I don't know. They've won their last games like 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. So I'm going to say continue the streak. Is it going to keep going? We will see. Next game is Southampton versus West Ham, 2 sides that failed to score last weekend, although the team, West Ham, had to face a little bit more of a tougher challenge, going to Old Trafford, a pretty tough environment, going up against a side that just put out a statement win and just absolutely hammered the Hammers. They got fucking hammered. Hey! Oh, genius. If I'm not going to give a draw, if I have to pick a winner, I'd probably go for West Ham, only because I felt like baptism of fire almost. That's my little logic after coming up against such high quality opposition, and then they immediately go out and play another away game. I mean, it's mental, but I think I'm going to go. Nah, I've done too many draws. Let's go for a West Ham win, and I'm going to make it 2-1. Okay, now I'm probably just going to smash through the rest of the games nice and quickly here. Stoke City versus Arsenal. They're going away to the Britannia Stadium, Arsenal, after a bit of a shaky, but still a win regardless. I think maybe now against Stoke away, I don't know, Stoke, they did not look incredible against Everton, but toward the end of the game, they were definitely taking it to them. They were threatening, and they were in the game, I would think, for the majority of it. Everton looked okay, but still only just managed to scrape through 1-0. I think Arsenal, probably feeling good after that last one. We'll give it to them. Let's say a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Now for a game I've got a lot of interest in, Huddersfield versus Newcastle. Here we go. Huddersfield after a big win. Although, to be fair, it was only against Crystal Palace. It's still good for them to get off to to get 3 points to start. We unfortunately could not. We went up against obviously much tougher opposition, and now we meet each other again. The last time we did meet, and the last time we played them away, we beat them 3-1. They've definitely invested and really improved their squad way more than Newcastle has. So yeah, cheers, Mike. And I don't think it's going to be as straightforward for us against them this time out compared to in the championship. So, I mean, I kind of, again, want to give ourselves the win, but I really don't feel super confident, especially after the fact that Shelvey's got himself sent off and he definitely will not be playing. So who do we have in that spot? I imagine Mikel Merino maybe might fill in that gap. Better fucking not be Colback. But anyway, I just don't really... Part of me thinks we're not going to win this game. I think it'd be a good result if we get a fucking draw. That's genuinely how I feel. So I'm going to say... And are we even going to score? I'm going to say 1-1. 1-1 for both teams. We'll get the draw. Now for the game, surely, which is the biggest of the round. It is going to be Spurs versus Chelsea at Wembley. Now, even though Chelsea looked absolutely dire last week, obviously just crap against Burnley, so poor, they at least were sort of getting a little bit better and finding their form toward the end of the game. Even when they went down to bloody 9 men, it was ridiculous. When Morata came on, he changed the game. And there's no way Batshuayi's going to start. I reckon if Morata gets a full 90 minutes in, he can really help out Chelsea. And on top of that, let's not forget what happened toward the end of last season when Tottenham and Chelsea played each other at the Wembley Stadium last time out. Chelsea absolutely battered Tottenham in the semi-final, and Tottenham last week against Newcastle, I mean, and I'm not just saying this, they didn't look at their absolute best. We were taking it to them for the majority of the game, right up until the Shelvey sending off, and that really changed things for them. So, part of me thinks, even though they have missed Fabregas, and they're also going to lose, what's the other one? Gary Cahill. There's some pretty big outs for Chelsea there. I do not expect Chelsea to absolutely pump Tottenham the way that they did last time out. But I think, again, plenty of goals. I'm expecting Harry Kane to notch his 100th in this match. I don't know. You know, the fact that Chelsea beat Spurs last time out that they played at Wembley Stadium, that's in the back of my mind. But with the start that Chelsea have had, it's not been rock solid. They're missing players. Spurs' first home game at Wembley, I think they'll be up for it. I'm going to give it to Spurs 3-2. Big game, hopefully a lot of goals. But yeah, another 3-2 loss for Chelsea, I'm predicting. And finally, Manchester City versus Everton. Another pretty decent game, you know, to be fair. Everton, obviously, they've really improved their squad and didn't look a completely new team or any absolute world beater at, you know, after splashing the cash, although Rooney, obviously, and some of the other players as well, like Sandro, looking very nice as well. But I still don't think they have really developed their squad to a point where they can take it to a team like Manchester City away and get a result. So, I mean, it's still very possible that they could maybe pick up a point or 3 if it goes their way. But I think Man City will probably get this one. And probably not a gigantic scoring-wise game and watch it turn into like a 5-4 match now. But I'm going to say it's going to be 2-0 for Manchester City again. I'm also going to introduce something, guys, called a certainty pick. There's no need for me to do this, but I just want to spice up the series just that little bit more. The certainty pick I give to a game that I think I'm so confident with my prediction. Whether it's going to be a win or a draw or whatever, I'm going to put a certainty pick on it. And that certainty pick is going to be Manchester United beating Swansea City. That is my certainty pick. Now, what happens if I get my certainty pick correct? Well, here's the answer. Nothing. I get nothing, no bonus, no nothing. All the certainty pick does is really, if I get it wrong, I am going to lose a point. So let's say next match week, I only get a certain amount of results right and I just get 5 points, okay? But let's say Swansea City draw, or God forbid somehow manage to beat Manchester United. Because that's the certainty pick, I will lose a point. That takes me below 5 points and I'll have to do a forfeit. That's what the certainty pick is. I'm putting it on Manchester United to beat Swansea City. So please, lads, keep up the incredible form. You're obviously right now surely showing yourselves as one of the better, if not the best team in the Premier League, just off the back of that first game. Now please back it up. I'll see you next week for the next round of games, but until next time, my name's Masterbucks. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, don't forget to leave your predictions and of course, any ideas for forfeits in the comment section down below. And until next time, my name is Masterbucks. Have a good one.